as American educators, should look at the global community for inspiration. Currently in California, we have the traditional 4 years of education approach when supporting teacher candidates in becoming teachers. The concern, particularly after reading about Finland, Ontario, and Singapore, is that part of our 4 year educational program is spent on general prerequisites that, in all honesty, do not help teacher candidates become better teachers. I'd argue that the approach California takes needs to echo or mirror that of Finland and Ontario. In Finland, there's an emphasis on teacher candidates focusing their foundational education solely on education itself. In Ontario, teacher candidates focus on education, but what seems to be a uniquely American issue is that a fully supported teacher and student trial only happens in the final year of a teacher prep program, and with minimal input and feedback from the very community in which a teacher candidate might actually teach in. This is an issue because nowhere else in American workforce do we expect full competency in newly graduated professionals. Yet here in California, we do have newly graduated teachers with no real teaching experience under their belts, teaching classrooms with no support outside of a mentorship that they're assigned from the district and a new teacher induction program. As a former coach for said induction program, I can tell you that California is kind of preemptive and assuming what it thinks that its teachers should know. San Diego expects its new teachers to join in the induction program and speak to infusing the joy of teaching in the classroom. Yet these are teachers that don't even know how to teach in the classroom, much less correspond with parents, engage in professional learning communities, and enrich an environment that is needed to pass a statewide test with flying colors. And this is sad. We should not be expecting new teachers in San Diego to do anything other than teach, particularly when they have no formal training due to lax emergency credentialing programs and things like that. And I share this because I think we're doing a disservice to our teachers and our students alike. We cannot expect teachers to be highly effective when they have not been trained in a highly effective manner. And I do not believe that this is a factor in statewide testing, or I do believe it's a factor in statewide testing, and why we hold it in such a high esteem. Districts need to show that students know what to do when the teachers might not know what to do. I would challenge California to create a system in which teacher candidates are given an extra year of direct instruction from teachers themselves on what to do in the classroom. Research from Singapore, Ontario, and Finland have all demonstrated that when teachers are coached by teachers themselves, the growth and development that occurs is far greater than the growth and development that occurs in critically contrived learning communities. I do think, though, that when San Diego eventually places its trust into its seasoned teachers, we can see, as a county and a state, a great deal of growth. In countries where veteran teachers lead the professional learning communities, researchers have noted that engagement and success increases exponentially, and that teachers have buy-in to spend more time developing their own campuses, which ultimately supports student growth on specific campuses. That's to say, students receive highly targeted and really well thought out interventions and lesson plans and success based on the specific needs for their school and community. Additionally, when the growth of an individual student is taken into account, students ultimately perform better when lower rates of stress are coming from teachers long term. Reading the assigned chapters from Teaching in a Flat World helps demonstrate that by taking the pressure off of student performance, teachers then feel the freedom to help encourage students to grow in highly unique ways. This in turn leads to more positive interactions with assigned admin, as the admin is looking at student growth and not student performance. Finland has a revolutionary way in which to look at student growth and teacher performance, and it is, unsurprisingly, to look at the actual growth of a student, not a student against its peers. This in turn has led to highly confident students willing to take risk in their educational career later on. When this sort of organic and dynamic education takes place, administrators are no longer stuck in the role of evaluating teachers under harsh systems of pros and cons. Rather, they can help ensure equitable growth in their staff through highly trained trainings, highly specific trainings. And many successful countries look at school administration as a way in which to encourage the growth of its teachers. However, in Southern California, admin is typically the "I got you." I'd argue in a dynamic learning community such as Southern California, the teachers need to be highly trained and given a coach prior to even entering the classroom. And I think once teachers do take over a classroom, when they're highly trained, we'll find that our students are successful and our admin are successful and our communities are engaged in participating in the educational process.